Again, if you're just joining us, a yoga belt or a strap, a pants belt is nice to have for the beginning of class for something that we're going to do. Definitely not necessary, so don't worry if you don't have it. Once more, I'll just repost my Spotify and then I'll get to my mat. Thanks everyone for being here. Okay, so if you have your belt, go ahead and come to your space and we're going to start lying down. So on your back, if you have a belt, keep it nearby. Bend your knees and plant your feet flat. Walk your feet out a little bit wider than hips width, and then knock your inner knees towards one another. Rest your hands on your abdomen, your belly, and softly close your eyes. Just take these first few moments to arrive into your space, onto your mat if you're using one. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Hold the air at the top, and then open your mouth, exhale, sigh it out. 2 more times like this. Inhale. Hold the breath in. Open mouth, exhale. Last time, inhale deeply. Pause at the top. Open your mouth and sigh it out. And then let your lips seal. Just take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Starting to cultivate this even breathing. And then you can start to softly blink your eyes back open. And then we'll stay on our back. Go ahead and walk your feet back into hips with distance. Take a deep breath in, and as you inhale, hug your right knee in towards your right chest, or your chest. Interlace your hands around the front of your right thigh. And then you can point and flex your foot, just starting to get into the ankle joint a little bit here. And if you'd like to just move your knee, your leg from side to side, just starting to soften a little bit to your hip joint. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And if you're using a belt, go ahead and loop it around the ball mount of your right foot and now straighten your right leg overhead. Hold on to the belt with both hands. If you don't have a belt, no problem. You'll just take your hands and now interlace your hands behind your right thigh. So the belt is just to kind of create space between your hands and foot. Try to put the ball out of your foot high up towards the sky, higher than your heel. You can stay here with your left knee bent or now slide your left leg straight on the floor. Press out through your inner left heel. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more breath. Continue to take the top of your right thigh forward. Hug your leg in and down. And then bend your left knee if you straightened it. Bend your right knee and lower your right foot to ground. Inhale, hug your left leg in. Interlace your hands around your left shin. You can point and flex your foot. Maybe move the knee and the leg from side to side, just getting into the joints here, softening. And then either using your belt, looping it around the ball mount of your foot, straighten your leg. Alternatively, interlace your hands behind your left thigh as you straighten. And then either option, you're going to use resistance. So if you're interlaced hands behind the leg, press the leg into the hands as you hug in. If the foot is on the belt, press the foot up into the belt as you pull down. Breathe in. As you exhale, you can stay with a right bent knee or now slide your right leg straight. Another deep breath in and full breath out. One more time, continue taking the top of your left thigh forward. And then exhale to release it, bend both knees, ditch the belt. That's all we're going to use it for. You can move it to the side. Hug your knees in towards your chest. And then start to grab towards the backs of your thighs. And now start to rock and roll the length of your spine. You can move through a few rocks here if that feels good on your back. We're going to eventually come forward. So no rush. Once you come forward, cross out your shins, and we'll meet up in a tabletop position. Again, take your time. Coming into quadruped, hands and knees. So once you're in table, line up hands under shoulders. Take a deep breath in. We'll move into cow pose. Start to arch your spine, lift your chest, send your sitting bones back. As you exhale, round your spine and hug your navel in for cat pose. Again, inhale to lift and lengthen cow. Heart moves forward. Exhale to round in cat. Inhale to lift cow pose. Exhale, round and cat pose. Inhale to come back to neutral. Tuck your toes under. Walk your hands forward, one hand print. And then lift your hips up and back into your first downward facing dog of class today. I don't know, you might have done a down dog earlier today. You can feel free to pedal out your feet, just again, arriving into your shape. Let your head be heavy. Find your steady breath. Full inhalation, steady and smooth exhalation. Press your hands forward and down. Drive your feet down and back. Spread your fingers wide. Distribute the weight evenly across your hands. Now inhale, walk your feet towards one another. So your big toes are touching, inner edges of your feet are touching. Inhale, raise your right leg high, and then start to turn your right leg open, bend your knee and stack your hip. Continue to press the floor forward and down, lift your hips high. Inhale to re-straighten your right leg. Exhale, turn it in and step it down. Downward facing dog. Legs together. Inhale, lift your left leg high. Begin to open your leg, bend your knee, stack your hip. Your left heel towards your left buttocks. Press the top of your right thigh back. Breathe in. Breathe out. Re-straighten, turn it in. And exhale, step it down. Downward facing dog. From here, walk your feet out wide so they're touching the outer edges of your mat if you're using one. And then on your exhale, to walk your hands back towards your feet. Uttanasana, standing forward fold at the back of your mat. You can either be touching down or grab opposite elbows here. Again, let your head be heavy, so avoid trying to hold your head up. If you have opposite elbows, it could be nice to sway from side to side. Take a deep breath in and deep breath out. If you have opposite elbows, release. Everyone take your hands to your hips, slight bend to your knees. Inhale, rise up to stand at the back of your space. Keep your feet wide, and now interlace your hands behind your back. Roll your shoulders back, begin to straighten your arms. And now press your knuckles down towards the floor. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Lift your chest. Inhale deeply. Start to lean back slightly. Maybe turn your gaze and look up. And then as you exhale, bend your knees. Keep the interlock of your hands and fold over your legs. Bound Uttanasana. Keep your knees deeply bent, head heavy. And now as you inhale, begin to turn open to the left. Draw your right shoulder to your right knee, straighten your left leg. Release, bend both knees, fold to the middle, and then start to turn open to the right. Take your left shoulder to your left knee, straighten your right leg, and then exhale, come back through center. Release the interlock and touch down. Inhale, halfway lift, hands can come to shins, thighs move back, heart forward. Exhale to forward bend. Bend your knees again, stick your butt out. We're gonna stay here in this fold. Walk your hands slightly forward. You can be on fingertips. Now walk your left hand all the way over to the right. Press your left hand down or your left fingertips down. Take your right hand to your left wrist and use a little bit of pressure to pull forward and down. Let your head be heavy, keep bending your knees, sticking your butt out. Start to feel probably a big side stretch through your left side, your left shoulder maybe. Release, plant both hands to the mat. Walk your right hand all the way over to the left, either fingertips or palms flat. Take your left hand to your right wrist, gently tug forward and down, trying to create length here through your right side. Keep bending your knees, buttocks back. Breathe in, breathe out, and release it. This time you're gonna walk your hands now forward to come back into downward facing dog. Take your time. And then here in down dog, you can step your feet back into hips width distance. Inhale. Exhale. Now on your next inhalation, shift yourself forward to plank pose, top push up and hold. Press back through your heels, shoulders over wrists. Exhale, we're gonna move up and back, downward facing dog. Again, inhale, shift forward to plank, top of a push up and pause, navel to spine. Exhale, hips move back, downward facing dog. Last time like this, inhale, shift forward to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now this time, inhale, shift forward to plank and hold. As you exhale, we're going to lower all the way down to your belly. So you can drop your knees first, move with control and intention on the exhale, bend your elbows back and lower down. Now on your belly, once again, walk your feet and your legs out wide. So your feet should be touching the outer edges of your mat if you're using one. Now additionally, walk your hands out wide and come up onto fingertips. Bend your elbows for fingertip cobra. On the inhalation, keep your pubic bone pressing down and then start to curl into your upper back. Draw your shoulders back, lift your chest. It doesn't matter how high you go. Exhale, release and lower. 2 more times. Press your pubic bone down. Inhale, shoulders back, chest lifts. Exhale, lower down. Last time. Inhale, shoulders move back, heart opens. Exhale, release and lower. Take your legs back into hips width, point your toes, and now straighten your arms back by your sides. Turn your palms up towards the ceiling. On your next inhalation, lift your legs, lift your chest, lift your arms, locust pose, Shavasana. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, hover your limbs. Now keep your legs hovering, bend your elbows, float your cobra. So your palms are hovering above the floor. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Keep this. Now plant hands flat. Inhale, curl into your upper back to move into cobra. Now plant your feet flat. Uttanasana. Exhale, release and lower. Tuck your toes under and we'll meet up and back. Downward facing. Feel free to move through table as you press yourself back. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, raise your right leg high. Exhale, step your right foot forward in between hands, lunge. Drop your back knee, and then inhale, rise, reach your arms overhead. Keep your back toes tucked under, bend your elbows, and now once again, catch for opposite elbows. If you can't catch the elbow, you can just grab onto the forearms. Inhale to lift your chest. As you exhale, start to side bend to the right. Keep pressing your right foot forward and down, firm through your buttocks. Inhale to come back through center. Exhale, touch your hands down to frame your front foot. Pick up your back knee, straighten both legs, and fold over your right leg. Bit of a repeat from last week, but this time we're gonna stay. Breathe in, breathe out. Now as you inhale, start to lunge back into your right knee, but keep your back knee lifted. Lift your left hip, lunge into the right leg. Shoulders move back, heart lifts. If you want to move slightly forward and back, again, feel free. Just getting into the body here. See how this changes it maybe. And then if you're moving, come back to static lunge. Exhale, plant your hands flat, step it back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in and a deep breath out. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, take a big step forward in between your hands, low lunge, drop back knee, keep your back toes tucked. Whoa, I almost tipped over. Inhale, raise your arms overhead. This time, catch your opposite elbows. So the opposite elbows in front. If you can't remember, that's okay. Inhale to find length. As you exhale, start to side bend to the left. You should feel a big opening through the front of your right hip. Keep pressing left foot forward and down, firming through your right buttock. Inhale to come up through center. As you exhale, release your hands, touch down, frame your front foot, pick your back knee up, and now straighten both legs and fold over your leg. Stay for the breath. Inhale. Slow, controlled exhale. One more time. Now this time on your exhalation, start to lunge into your left knee. Stay on your fingertips. Try to avoid dropping your right hip. So pick your right hip up, but lunge into your left knee. So you're trying to line up your knee with your ankle here as much as you can. And just breathe into it. Soften your shoulders away from your ears. If it helps to kind of shift forward and back here on your back palm, feel free. Focus on your steady breathing. And then come more back into a static posture. Plant your hands flat, exhale, downward facing dog. Now inhale to look forward, bend your knees, exhale, travel to the top of your space, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, exhale to fold, bend your knees, hands to hips, rise up to stand. From standing, keep your hands on your hips, and now take a big step back with your left leg, turn to face the long edge of your sticky mat, so you're in a wide stance. Keeping the hands on the hips. Open your toes. So your toes are out wide, your heels are facing in towards one another. Now, bend your knees and then grab onto your thighs. So place your hands on the tops of your thighs towards your knees. Take a moment and you can move from side to side here. Breathe in, breathe out. And then come back through center. Try to track your center knees over the center lines of your feet. So you're gently using your hands to open your legs. Don't force it. Inhale to come up slightly. Now this time as you exhale, turn and twist open to the right. Inhale through center. Exhale, turn and twist to the left. Two more times. Inhale through center. Exhale, twist right. Inhale through center. Exhale, twist left. Inhale through center, exhale, twist right. Inhale through center, exhale, twist left. Good. Inhale through center and pause. Hands to hips, firm your legs straight, turn your big toes in. So now your feet are parallel. Keeping the hands, squeeze your elbows together. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale now, fold over your wide legs. Press our hands down, release the crown. Stay like this, or we'll start to take this into a twist. So as you inhale, walk both of your hands towards your right leg. Take your left hand and grab onto your right shin or calf, maybe even the ankle. And then take your right hand to your hip. Begin to turn your abdomen and chest open to the right. Take your head back in line with your spine. It's harder to breathe here, so be mindful. And then exhale, release everything, come back through center, fold. Switching sides, walk your hands over to the left. Take your right hand, grab onto your left shin, and left hand comes to your hip. Draw your shoulders back, curl into your upper back as you twist open. Exhale, release everything, return to center, fold. Inhale, straighten your arms, lift halfway, so you're finding a long spine. And then wherever the front of your mat is, begin to walk your hands forward. Turn your front foot forward, frame it, And we'll step it back to downward facing dog. Breathe in and breathe out. Here in down dog, inhale, shift forward, plank. Once again, exhale, we're gonna lower all the way down to your belly and pause. On your belly, prop yourself up to Sphinx pose. So on the forearms, elbows underneath shoulders. Press your feet down, take your tailbone to your pubic bone. So you're protecting your low back here. Lift your navel. And then pressing your forearms down, bend your knees, kick your heels towards your butt, and then start to windshield wiper your feet and your legs from side to side. So your hips will lift off the floor. That's okay. And then re-straighten your legs. Pause for a moment in Sphinx. And then release. We're gonna flip on over to your back. So take your time, flipping onto the back, bend your knees, plant your feet hip width and parallel. Now here on your back, open your arms to a T. So your hands are in line with your shoulders. Arms are as straight as you can make them. With the feet hip width, press your feet down and ground your hips. Now inhale, start to take your left arm and reach for your right hand. So you might need to lift your head and shoulders, but don't lift your feet and hips. Exhale, reopen your left arm to a T. Inhale, reach your right arm towards your left hand. Exhale, release and lower. Inhale, left hand to right. Exhale, lower. Inhale, right hand to left. Exhale, lower. So the only thing that should be moving, keep going, is your upper body. Your lower body is staying still. You're using your legs, your feet to keep grounded as you move into this thoracic extension of your spine. So a few more times, just reaching the opposite hand across. Try to touch, it's okay if maybe you can't, maybe you'll only get to the forearm. Take one more on each side, and then pause. Lower your arms to your sides. Bend your elbows, palms facing. Inhale deeply. As you exhale, lift your hips up, bridge pose. Roll your shoulders underneath you. Maybe stay here, or maybe interlace your hands underneath you. If you have the interlock, keep lifting your hips, firm your glutes, breathe in, breathe out. Release it if you have it, and then exhale, everyone, lower down onto your back. On your back, bend your right knee in towards your chest, just like we did in the beginning of class. Hug for your right shin. And now slide your left leg straight on the floor. Keep your left leg straight, open your right arm to a T. And now use your left hand to twist, guide your right knee across your left. You can roll onto your outer left hip and foot. But try to prioritize keeping your right shoulder blade grounded to the floor. Pause for a few deeper breaths. Begin to slow it down. Option to turn your gaze and look over your right shoulder. Inhale to come back through center. And then switch it out. Hold on to your left shin. Begin to straighten your right leg in front of you. Keeping the left shin in, open your left arm to a T, and now use your right hand to guide the leg across. Try to prioritize keeping your left shoulder grounded versus getting your foot and your knee to the floor. Breathe in and breathe out. Excuse me. You can look over your left shoulder. Continue to turn your ribs and your abdomen towards the ceiling. Inhale to come back through center. This time, hug both knees in towards your chest. You can grab the shins. You can stay like this, maybe rock side to side. If it feels appropriate in your body, start to reach the arms in between your legs to catch the outer feet for happy baby. If you're in happy baby, press the soles of the feet towards the ceiling. Hug your knees towards your armpits. And once again, you can rock side to side. Some of you may wish to straighten one leg at a time. Maybe you go to both legs straight. It's your practice. Feel free to play around. And then release it. So if you have the feet, hug your knees in towards your chest. And then exhale. Let's find a rest, just like we did at the beginning of class. Walk your feet out wide, knock your knees together. Once again, place your hands on your low abdomen. Let your eyes soften and close. Take a deep breath through your nose. Open mouth, exhale, sigh it out. One more time, inhale. Open mouth, exhale, release. Let your breath spontaneously return back to its natural rhythm. Begin to release any and all effort, making your way into Shavasana. Feel free to stay like this in constructive rest. You can straighten the legs alternatively. If you have another way to rest, you can find your way there now. Don't let your limbs become heavy. Soften the side walls of your throat. Unhinge your jaw. Release the tongue from the roof of your mouth. Relax your eyelids. Soften the features of your face. And take these final few moments of class to be here now in your body, in your breath, in your space. And it's easy to be in the present moment when you first lie down to rest, but as time goes on, it's common for your mind to become a little bit more active. You might start to move through your to-do list or maybe what you're going to have for dinner. It's happening, no worries. Judgment, start to let those thoughts pass and come back into your body breath once again. Now keep your body still, begin to deepen your breath, reawakening. You can start to wiggle fingers and toes, rolling out ankles and wrists, stretching out in any way. No rush. If you want to stay longer, feel free to just turn me off. Otherwise, roll to your side. Use both hands to press yourself up to a seat. Taking a comfortable seat, sit up nice and tall. And we'll just close as an offering of peace by chanting the sound of Om just one time. Option to keep your hands resting or join your hands together in front of your heart. Exhale out first. Take a slow breath in. Om. Thank you. Namaste.